All right, it's time for our weekly-ish power rankings.
Kinda.
Kinda weekly.
Weekly, you know.
I don't know. Listen, if you disagree with us, if you agree with us, let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the video. Let us know who you think should be in the top 10, who shouldn't be in the top 10. Also, you know what? I didn't say this like the past few reaction videos and power rankings we did, but Kwab and I were nominated for Best Basketball Podcast
Oh yeah,
for the
that
Sports
that
Podcast
that's
Awards.
still a thing,
So,
right? Yeah.
yeah, we got nominated last month and just stopped telling y'all. But link is in the description to vote for us if you like us. Whatever.
Oh,
All
whatever.
right,
No,
let's
cool,
get
cool.
to it. Coming in at number 10, we have a new team. The Sacramento Kings, 7 straight wins, baby. Let's go.
That's crazy. That's
Wins
crazy.
against the Warriors in Golden State, against the Heat, at Boston versus Chicago. Kwab, this is a team that you wanted on the list, and I agreed. I said, you know what? Let's show them some love. Explain
Like it.
yourself.
I like it. I mean, we talked about the Kings a little bit in previous episodes. You guys check out some of our full episodes where we highlighted a couple of teams that we thought were playing well that nobody's really talking about. And it just so happens that Sacramento just keeps winning after they fired their coach, which we didn't expect we didn't expect them to fire their coach. But hey, it's been working out. They've been playing really well. They've made the tweak of playing Keon Ellis more, which Josh wanted. Josh was right, as I
That's
said
right.
before.
Hire me, baby. Let's go.
Also, shout out their rookie Devin Carter. I think he played at Providence, was one of the best defensive players in college, and he's finally healthy and he's been playing really well for them now. So, I mean, hey, we're showing the kids some love. They can finally light the beam, so it's going well for them.
Beam is back, baby.
beam is
I have a
back.
beam. That one day, the Sacramento Kings and the rest of the NBA will be in. I don't know what I don't know what I'm doing here. But yeah, shout out to the Kings. I did watch the Bulls Kings game, caught the end of that, and even though it was kind of a track meet, you did have the Kings come up with timely stops at the end. And when I say stops, I mean like forcing turnovers. It wasn't just kind of like, oh, the Bulls so happened to miss. It was like, not like the Aaron Fox forced a turnover off of Vucevic's legs, swiping at the ball. They turned the ball over a few times, and they hit timely shots. Doug Christie, head coach, known for his defense. So I'm sure, even though Mike Brown was known for his defense as well, I'm sure Doug Christie is getting on them in practice about their defense and how they need to be better. Playing Keon Ellis is something that we said an episode ago. Go check it out if you haven't watched it. Really proud of the Kings because I like the Kings. They're so fun to watch, and I love their fan base. I love their arena. I think the Beam is one of the most creative things and one of the best things about basketball the past few years. So shout out to the Kings coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have the Indiana Pacers, another new team, 6 straight wins. This started when I went to the Heat Pacer game, and I put money on the Heat like a moron, and I watched the Indiana Pacers just completely demolish them. I thought Jimmy Butler was going to have the game of his life, because typically when you talk trash to Jimmy, when Jimmy starts hearing things, he comes out swinging. He came out not swinging. I don't know what the opposite of swinging is, but he did not come out swinging. And the Pacers walked all over them. But what I was most impressed with the Pacers was their ball pressure and their defense. And I know the Pacers get a lot of flack for not playing defense and being a horrible defensive team like they were last year. But that Pacer team that I saw was like the Pacer team, very similar to the team that I saw beat the New York Knicks in the semifinals in the Eastern Conference last year. And if Tyrese Haliburton can play the way he's been playing, this team is scary again. I don't know if they'll get to the Eastern Conference Finals scary, but they're scary in the sense it's like, I don't know if I want to play them in the first round. So shout out to the Pacers, 6 straight W's with a 22-18 record.
Yeah, that's another team we highlighted in the episode where we talked about teams that nobody's talking about that they're kind of going on a streak. Yeah, everything you said, they've been playing well defensively. They've looked better. The NBA is hilarious because like Sacramento and Indiana were two teams that people were like, okay, they're done. They're done for the year,
Yeah.
and now they kind of look like, hey, they might be able to. Well, the Pacers are right now in the playoffs, but Sacramento, they might be able to get in the playoffs also. So, like you said, Haliburton, if he continues playing well, they have a chance of being scary again. So,
Also, side note, before we get deeper into this countdown, we left off the Clippers and Lakers on purpose. They haven't played because of the fires in Los Angeles. It was just hard to judge them. Like, how do we place them in here when they haven't really played? And so, because of that, we wanted to show love to the Pacers and Kings. Sorry, Los Angeles. You'll be back next week if you play good. You're about to play right now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's move on to number 8. Kwab, your team. Go ahead.
Our team. What do you mean, my team? Our team.
No, it's your team, not our
It's our
team.
team. It's our
My
team.
team is here.
Oh,
This is not our team.
Our team.
No.
This is not my team. My team is the Nets. My team. Where's my hat? My hat's
But
somewhere.
this is the team that you're infatuated with for some reason.
I say, hey man, magic culture. Not heat culture anymore. It's magic culture, baby. It's magic. It's magic culture. Paulo's back. So right now, I know a lot of times people were talking about, hey man, they've been injured. The outlook doesn't look that great. They find a way to win. They play hard. I don't know any other team that would be able to scrape off some of the wins they have when most of your starting five has been out. Like they lost Jalen Suggs. The last game I was watching, they lost Goga. They lost Tristan Da Silva during the course of the game, and they only had like 8 people available. Still pulled out a victory. So to me, Coach Mosley would, like I said before, would probably get more Coach of the Year votes if they were a little more healthy and their record was a little bit better. But as a team, they play really hard. I don't think a lot of teams want to face them in the playoffs. I know for a fact the Knicks don't.
Nope.
I know for a fact the Knicks don't.
I don't play anybody. I want to play anybody the first time.
I don't want to see anybody. But hey, man, go Magic. You know what I mean, one of our favorite teams here. Both of us, one of our favorite teams.
I like the Magic. I'm going to stop. I do like the Magic. I respect the fact they play hard. I respect the fact that they have a next man up mentality and that Mosley can put in anybody really, and they'll do their job. Paolo's back. I think he's someone who's underappreciated in this league. Has to be more efficient, but he's definitely a rising star in this league. This team is just annoying to play against. I mean, there are very few teams in this league. When we go against them as a Knicks fan, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
This is exhausting. And that's the Magic. And that's a sign of a good team. So they deserve to be at number 8. Coming at number 7, it's the New York Knicks.
You hear the excitement in that boy's voice?
26
Y'all broke him.
Wins against the Raptors and Bucks at home. Losses at Orlando against the Thunder at home. And the Detroit Pistons, who
Detroit basketball.
We do a top 10, but if we did a top 15, I think the Pistons might be in there. Regardless, I am getting sick of this team. Don't have much to say. I don't like this team.
Oh. Look,
they're a good team, bro, but I don't trust them in the playoffs. I mean, at the end of the day, their record has them as the 3rd best team in the Eastern Conference right now. I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't trust them in a playoff series. Again, they're just finding themselves. The best teams in this league have an identity. They know themselves. Everybody knows their roles. And right now, the Knicks just don't have that. And, you look at the team of Cavs. I know I'm comparing them to the best team in the league right now, but you look at a team like the Cavs. This is a team that has been playing together for years, who knows each other, who basically, like, their roles have been defined for quite some time now. And I just think Knicks fans need to lower expectations. If this core is going to click, it's not going to be this year. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. They might rip off 15 and straight, and then you're going to see me having delusional takes. But right now, that's how I feel.
Yeah, they could change your opinion in a week. The NBA works that way.
Thunder embarrassed them. The Thunder was just like after the Thunder game, I was like, nah, this is.
Yeah, you can go back and look at the Thunder reaction and see Josh's reaction right after the game. He was not a happy camper.
No.
I mean, they just lost to the Pistons. That's again another team that we highlighted when we talked about teams they're playing well that nobody's really talking about. So I wasn't surprised the Pistons beat them. The Knicks are the one way I would describe them all year is that they've been inconsistent. They're just inconsistent all around. In one game, they will rally off a bunch of points, score on you, and look unstoppable. Another game, they look like a mediocre team, and that's just the case. Unless they figure it out completely as a team, this is going to be the case moving forward. They got to fix the defense, like we've been harping on. They got to fix the defense and just get more consistent in more areas. Tibbs is playing the bench players a little more, so that's a positive. But it is what it is. I mean, it's still a long season. Anything can happen, like you said. Sure. 2 weeks from now, we could be talking about that. Damn, the Knicks look really good. You never know. That's my optimistic take.
They're not going to fool me, Kwab. I will not.
That's just my optimistic take. That's all I'm going to leave it as.
All right, let's move on. Screw this. Coming at number 6, it's the Denver Nuggets, 23-15 with wins against the Clippers, the Nets, and at Dallas. Short-handed Dallas team, but a very nice comeback there. They lost to the Celtics at home. The Nuggets, I just think they're going to be on cruise control for the rest of the year. They're going to, every 10 games, it's going to be like 6-4, maybe 7-3, maybe 5-5, but eventually they'll work their way up the standings, maybe be the 3 or 4 seed. Not so much that they're taking the regular season off, but they know what they are. They know who they are. I think they need to move at the deadline in order to, be contenders. But this week, a very impressive win against a Mavericks team, even though there's no Luka and Kyrie. That team is deep, and they have players, and to be down 18 in the second half to come back and win by 7 or 11, whatever that they won by, was really impressive. Aaron Gordon looked really good. The thing with the Nuggets, too, what I saw in Dallas is when they need a bucket, man, they know how to get one.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds very reductive, but they can just give the ball to Jokic. They can make something happen off the pick and roll or a dribble handoff. He can create on his own. I think adding Russell Westbrook, I keep saying this every week, which is like, if you know me, is insane, but I think he's been phenomenal from this year in pushing the basketball. I think he's been phenomenal from this year for pushing the basketball.
Say it again.
I think he's been phenomenal for them this year pushing the basketball. He's been a great addition. He has been. Like, I was wrong about Russell Westbrook this year. So 3 run-of-the-mill wins. They lost to the Celtics, but ain't no shame in that. I don't think Jokic played that game. I think Jokic was out that game. So
Nuggets have been playing well. Russell Westbrook has been a great fit. I think having him starting in the lineup, playing off Jokic, has been really impressive. Just regardless of how you ever feel about Russell Westbrook, his activity never stops. So having an active cutter on the team, like he's able to get easy buckets because of Jokic. He's also still one of the best passers to play the game. So he's also making plays on the court. Again, like you said, they're gonna need to make a move. I don't think this team, as constructed, is NBA championship team, and I know that's your ultimate goal. Their goal is not just to be in the playoffs and then maybe win a couple of rounds. They want to win the chip. So I think they need to make a move. I don't know exactly what that move is, but they do need to make a move.
All right, coming in at number 5, it's the Memphis Grizzlies, 25-15 with wins over the Mavs and T-Wolves. They lost at Sacramento, at Golden State, and just recently, if you want to watch a recap video, at Houston. The Grizzlies are good. I'm waiting to see what they look like with Gigi back, with Vince back, what that rotation looks like. They're going to be better defensively when everybody comes back. They turn the ball over way too much for my liking. I've watched their past 3 games, I think, and they get very sloppy. I don't like this 5-out isolation offense they run, even though I know Ja can get past basically anybody. I rather you run a pick and roll or have some type of option coming off of screen or something like that. But for the most part, they're very deep. They're a good defensive team. They're very talented. I think they need another shooter. But 5th best team, that sounds about right. I think there's some room for improvement there, though.
Yeah, agree with you on that. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been having a all-star season. Wow, I'm getting tongue-tied. I can speak. He's been having an all-star season, still playing well defensively. If he just continues to stay out of foul trouble, he's one of the most effective players on the court. Ja, coming back from injury, still been putting up numbers. A little bit of sloppy play overall in that
clutch
team.
in Minnesota, though.
Clutch, very clutch.
I mean that was a tough win for I got to give him that.
Yeah. Very clutch.
I was thinking that they weren't going to win that game, especially in the fourth quarter when Minnesota looked like they could have pulled away a couple times.
Yeah.
So shout out to Memphis there.
I mean, like even that game, he looked a little rough, but he still again hit the game winner in that game. So, I mean, they're like we've been saying every time we do a recap of a game, they're a very deep team, and they're still missing players. So we wonder what's going to look like when they have their full roster, hopefully healthy. I just want to see what the team looks like healthy moving forward. Again, another team you wouldn't want to see in the playoffs just because they have a lot of options they can throw at you. Just got to clean up the sloppy play. I feel like they can go pretty far in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about matchups. We say this all the time, and we'll see what they do if they do anything at the All-Star break. Everybody can use a Cam Johnson. Anyway, coming in at number 4, it's the Houston Rockets who wins over the Lakers, the Grizzlies. Losses at home against the Celtics at Washington, which isn't the best, but they're still the 2 seed. I think beating the Grizzlies twice is a very impressive thing. This is a team that's on your heels, and you're able to have a comeback victory at home against them. You're able to outplay them significantly in Memphis. This team, defensively, especially Amen Thompson, causing havoc and starting. I mean, Tari Eason's been out too. The way that he's been able to put pressure on offenses and turn the ball over and getting out and running the basketball. This team is a lot of fun to watch. I think they can be better in the half court. We talk about this all the time. Sengun has been a little inconsistent against the Grizzlies. The first game, he dominated. In the second game, he was a little more inconsistent. Same thing with Fred VanVleet. That first game against the Grizzlies, we talked about, his presence was everywhere. Second game, not so much, but they won both games. They figured out a way to win both games. The loss of the Wizards, not a good look, but that happens sometimes in the season. You're the 2 seed in the West. You're a top 4 team in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jalen Green has been playing really, really well, especially since Amen Thompson has been starting. It's been in the starting lineup, just pushing the tempo and like having another player that kind of runs at the same pace that Jalen, or even faster pace than Jalen Green helps Jalen Green get easier shots. He's been very decisive in terms of like getting to the rim, taking the shots, and we always say when Jalen Green plays well, the Rockets play well. So if they can, again, just similar to the Grizzlies, they gotta, at times they have a lot of sloppy play. If they clean that up, they're a really good team. When you're in transition, like I think that's your best offense is when you're pushing the ball, you're in tempo. In half court, it can get kind of rough. Damn, I'm struggling to speak. It can get kind of rough, but like you said, inconsistent play from a lot of players. Like sometimes Sengun will be up and down, but he's still one of the best big men in the league. So like again, we like where we have him. Another team, I personally, if I was in the West, I wouldn't want to face.
Yeah, especially defensively. I mean, they can cause a lot of havoc. And if they get their stuff together offensively in the half court, they can be really good. This is a team where I said this in the last video. Don't really expect them to do too much this year, but definitely add a couple pieces. You get the right point guard. This team can really take off in the future. All right, coming in at number 3, I think our top 3 is going to be this way for a while, so it might get boring after a while. But coming through in at number 3, it's the Boston Celtics, 28-11, wins at Houston against the Nuggets at home. Almost lost to the Pelicans, but survived that one. But lost at the Thunder and against the Sacramento Kings. This is a team where Joe Mazzulla said in the press conference, like, we're 28-11, like, and people are acting like the sky's falling, and that's because everybody had such high expectations for the Celtics. You have a 3-2 week or week and a half or whatever, and everyone thinks the sky is falling, but in reality, they're the 2 seed in the East, they're the defending champions, and they're winning games at almost a 60-game pace. So I think the Celtics are fine. I don't know if it's boredom or whatnot. But I do think they need to tighten up defensively. This is a team that's known to be really good defensively, and I don't know what it is, what's going on right now. Maybe it is boredom. I don't know. I haven't watched enough Celtics games as of late, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I know we're going to try to do a couple reactions with them coming up. But, again, this is a team where it's just like, you ask anybody right now, you ask a lot of basketball experts that you see on television who would they have winning the title. I think the Celtics maybe would have the majority. Maybe them or the Thunder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it could be partial boredom. I think some of their losses are just because teams try to up the tempo on them just so they don't set your defense. Yeah. And that's worked in your favor. But they're number two in the East. Like they're still a top team in the East. Like if they were to lose, the sky's not falling. They were going on a losing streak. They would still be in the playoffs, and you still wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs because you're still a really good team, defensively and offensively. I think that in the course of an 82-game season, you have stretches like this where it's just like, oh man, what's happening with this team? It's like I think they're fine. They're still one of the contenders, like clearly.
All right, coming in at number 2, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, 32-6, wins against the Celtics at New York, at Washington. They did lose in Cleveland to the Cavaliers in one of the better games that we've seen all year.
Thanks.
Great record, very exciting team, waiting for Chet to come back, waiting for Caruso to come back so we could see this team in full force. They have a rematch with the Cavs coming up, which I'm really, really excited about. We're going to be recapping that as well. Arguably, you can argue they're the best team in the league. We don't think so. The Cavs have a better record. I think, personally, I've just been more impressed with what I've seen from the Cavs. But you can make an argument or case for the Thunder as well. And at number 2, again, not totally healthy, but contenders for sure.
Contenders. Yeah, contenders. I mean, after the loss to the Cavs, they came back and beat the dog crap out of the Knicks. And that was upsetting for somebody on this. But, it happens. But Look, the Thunder are a really good team. Like we said, we just need to. We want to see it.
It was humiliating. I was trying to bypass it really quick, just kind of mention it and then not
so,
talk about it.
Yeah, it's like going in to beat the Knicks.
Yeah, that I just honestly, that's one of the games where it just kind of let me know two things: one, the Knicks are not for real, and two, the Thunder are for real.
Levels.
Because the Thunder just lost to the Cavs, and losing streaks happen all the time, or you can doubt yourself. So they went into the Garden and beat the crap out of a team that people, to start the year, thought could be a contender.
Yeah.
Beat the crap out of them. The 3 seed in the East just embarrassed them all game. So that showed me a lot about the Thunder.
Levels, man. I think it's just levels. Like we talk about, they're a deep team. They know who their stars are. They know their roles. They're playing really well. Excited to see the rematch against the Cavs, because I think it's going to be another good game. But really want to see them healthy, just because one of their main issues has always been size, and Chet solves
man.
that.
When Chet comes back, I'm anxious to see how they play, how they incorporate Chet and Hartenstein together. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, same.
All right, and coming in at number 1 is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Really not much to say here. They beat the Mavericks in Dallas, the Hornets at home, Thunder at home, the Raptors. They did lose to the Indiana Pacers, though, at home, and just offensively did not look good at all. They have a rematch with them. We're going to be recapping it on Tuesday, so by the time this drops on a Tuesday, so tonight we're recapping that game. It's going to be a rematch. I am looking forward to that, man, because if the Pacers can beat them again, then we're going to have conversations about the Pacers. I'm still not worried about the Cavs. To me, they're still the best team in the league. It is interesting to see how bad they played in the Pacers, particularly in the second half, but that just happens, man. It's an 82-game season. You're not going to win them all.
Yeah, I think maybe they were too relaxed that game, but I'm interested to see how they come out in this rematch, just because you just took a loss they probably didn't expect to take. You always, not always, but you bring up how a lot of the Cavs are ex-Nets players, like Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Even the coach is an ex-Nets coach. After the Thunder game, I think they played the Raptors, and it was a close game at half. And I was like, I saw it popped up on my phone, so I'm like, oh, let me tune in to see why this game is close. I kid you not, I clicked on the game, and the play was Jared Allen getting a steal and then going in for a reverse dunk. And I turned it off. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to see this.
I'm sorry you have to go through this,
I'm
man.
I'm over this.
I'm like, so sorry.
I'll never forgive the Nets for choosing DeAndre Jordan over him. I'm sorry. I'm never. But that's just my issue.
Not the Nets. Not the Nets. Katie and Kyrie.
I'll never forgive the Nets for choosing DeAndre Jordan over him. But that's a whole other story. I'm not even gonna.
That's a whole other video.
That's
an
other
hour and a half video.
Whole another essay.
If you see a Nets video essay about that, just know it's Kwab going off.
It's just me going off and just crying. But hey, like I said, we feel like they're right now in our rankings. They're number 1. You can make a lot of people think they're championship contenders, and rightfully so. I mean, as a team, they're very deep. They know their roles. Again, I think that's important. Knowing your roles on the team, having a lot of continuity and chemistry, because they've been together for a while. So I don't see them. I feel like they're comfortable where they're at. I don't see them making any moves necessarily.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of people be like, oh, they need to add this here, they need to add this here. I feel like they're comfortable where they are. So, but I'm excited to see this Pacers game, and then excited to see how they look against the Thunder in that rematch also.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our power rankings. Please follow, subscribe to the show. Also, vote for us, Best Basketball Podcast, because you think we're the best. But listen, if you don't believe it, don't do it.
Don't do it. But believe it. But we want you to believe it.
You got to believe it. You got to believe it. Also, stay tuned for our recaps. We're doing Cavs Pacers, Cavs Thunder, a couple of games throughout the week. We'll probably drop a full episode sometime during the week as well. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time for another episode of The Dime. Peace.